Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a new episode of Today's Youth. And today we're joined here at the studio by a multitasking young lady. She's an interpreter, she's a writer, and she has a lot of other activities that she's interested in. She will tell us more about her story. Thank you very much for joining us, Heba Izzeddin. Heba, you are multitasking. You're working as an interpreter, as a writer, and also engaged in several other activities. Tell me more about this.
First of all, thank you so much, Naveen. I'm so happy that I see you again.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you so much. As a multitasker or multitasking, actually I'm working as an interpreter, and I'm also writing news in the newspapers, some articles related to society, language, and of course women's rights.
So, women's rights?
Yes. Right. I'm writing in Al-Watan, Saudi Arabia, and Qadaya al-Mar'a. And also other online newspapers in Egypt. So yeah, writer and interpreter, I can say.
Right. Heba, did you study simultaneous interpretation? That was your major field of study?
Actually, my major field of study is linguistics, and this is my MA degree in linguistics, which is the science of language. But my career is interpretation. So as an interpreter, you can, once you graduate from the Faculty of Arts, you can be a teacher, interpreter, or like a trainer in the English language. But I prefer so much interpretation. Well, so for so many reasons. I like traveling. I like communicating with different people, different cultures. That's what I like so much. So I prefer interpretation, and I don't consider that interpretation is a challenging career. However, I hear this a lot from so many people when I interpret, how you interpret at the same time, and you're listening at the same time. Yeah. However, I find it's really, I enjoy my career. I find it's really, really interesting, not challenging.
Heba, you're a simultaneous interpreter. Tell me more about this career and about the different types of interpretation. I know there is simultaneous interpretation, consecutive interpretation, and sight interpretation. We would like to tell our viewers about interpretation in general.
Well, interpretation is a very wide world. So when we hear an interpreter, we say, yes, a headset and you're speaking. However, actually this is not, this is the image about interpretation, but this is not the real image of interpretation, because as interpreter, you might be encountered as an interpreter, as a sight interpreter, a consecutive interpreter, and sometimes also whisper interpretation, sometimes accompanied interpreter, like escort interpreter. So we have so many titles, and actually I have worked so many titles because I'm working until now for 12 years of experience. So I have worked those titles, and of course also I'm always saying that the skills that you're acquiring from every title will help and will serve in the other titles as well, whether preparation, whether working.
What do you think of digitization of interpretation now after the COVID-19 and the people went all online? How did this affect interpretation?
Well, this affects interpretation so much because, of course, it affects the whole world, and interpretation is part of the whole world. I always think that interpretation is like the thermometer of life, because if you find that there are some events in a city, this means that this city is really, we can say, have better economic conditions and have better like life conditions. So there are so many events, so many business emerging events. Foreign people are coming to this city, so it means that this city is enjoying the better economic conditions. So COVID-19 has a big heat of interpretation world, interpretation career, and finally everything has been transformed into digital world as well as interpretation as well. And then now we have so many online skills. Until now, even post COVID-19, I think that the precautionary measures have been now fewer than before. So until now, also we still depend on online interpretation. For example, Zoom, Kudu, Interprefy, all of those I'm certified for, and also other platforms have been emerged so that we can work over them. I have also, until now, so many projects, extended projects online because of maybe sometimes the measure of money, the measure of time. So they transform it into digital, even after after COVID-19. And interpretation is part of the digital world. So the interpreter should be well acquainted, should be well acknowledged with the digital tools. For example, how to interpret online, how to, I can say, handle the buttons online, how can you control the interpretation button and the other tools online in the interface of the platform. All of those skills should be also acquired in the as part of the skills of the interpreter, not only language or the skills of interpretation itself.
Right. Heba, you're also a writer. You're talented in writing. Tell me more about this experience and what did it add to you?
Well, as a writer, actually, what I like so much as my favorite hobby is writing and drawing. I like so much
And
drawing.
drawing also.
Yes, this is something that I'm doing not for job or as a title or as job, but something that I really prefer and I really like. When I have so many stress, I tend to write, to draw. And as
Tell me more about this hobby.
well, as a drawer, when I was a child, I tend to draw. I used to draw our garden, our home, and I used to draw my favorite teacher, sometimes my stuff. And when I grow up, I have so many papers of drawing, still keeping them, and also I used to draw the landscapes, the green papers, the trees, the gardens, the flowers, but in there like a landscape view more than this. So those are my two favorite hobbies. As a writer, I love so much to write about people, about the society, about the community, and also about my career. And for sure and absolutely for women rights. I always believe that a woman needs to have better opportunities to invest. They have to. They are now working as so many careers, and they have to really go to other jobs, and they need to prove themselves more and more. So I'm always writing about women rights and about how women are proving themselves and how they achieved so many challenges to work. Not all the challenges just for men, not also for women, but I think double challenges, and society problems, community problems, language problems. Those, like, you are writing for something like it's shaded or parts not focused on, not interested by so many people. So in my articles I need to focus all the time on the I can say something that's really hidden from the world or from the society. They need to focus on maybe in indirect way or direct way.
And now we go to a short break and we'll be right back.
أحلم بالدنيا اللي مفيش فيها كره وغل، الشمس بتطلع فيها تنور قلب الكل.
الحب يكون هو لغتها والناس تستمتع بحياتها،
والخير يزيد ويفيض ويغطي حدود الأرض.
I dream a world where no one hates to hold a grudge.
Da fosto io una fotisi torna allora,
Dove si vive per l'amore che riempie il tempo di colore.
любить жито, что дается свыше нам.
نحلم بالدنيا اللي يعيش فيها ناس في سلام، ناس يفكروا في المستقبل يشوفوا القدام.
الحلم بيلمع بعيونهم، مو فارقة لا لونهم ولا دينهم،
قابلين كل اختلافاتهم عايشين مع بعض.
أحلم بمكان الحب بيطرح في عيوننا، بحلم بمكان في كل اللي احنا بنتمناه.
وما نتحككش بأي ظروف، ونعيش من غير إحساس الخوف، مع عالم واحد كل الناس بتعيش جواه.
I dream of a world where love steals everything we do. I dream of a world where everything we hope comes true.
No obstacles will stand our way, no doubt or fear to chase away. One world that does not think in terms of me and you.
De braços dados e brilho em cada olhar, sorrindo juntos nós podemos ir além.
눈 감고 상상해봐요. 모두 따뜻한 세상.
Novo mundo orientado para o bem.
كلنا جايين من نفس الأب ونفس الأم،
من حواء ومن آدم، من الآخر نفس الدم. هي حقيقة ولازم نرضى،
كلنا راكبين مركب واحدة.
أكيد رايحين نوصل مع بعض البر أمان.
ख्वाब की दुनिया का जहाँ हो, चैन हो अमन, हर किसी का कल खिला हो जैसे महका चमन.
tulivyoshikana siku za kale, kwa nini tena tutenganishwe? Natamani dunia yaliyo na umoja.
I dream of a world where love steals everything
من غير إحساس الخوف ما هو عالم واحد كل الناس
بتعيش جواه، وشباب العالم جاي من كل مكان في الكون علشان مستقبل أجيال، مستقبل أجيال يبعت للدنيا بحالها رسالة خير وسلام هنا من أرض الأمان،
من أرض السلام
من أرض السلام.
Welcome back, and once again with my guest Heba Izzeddin. Heba, we were talking about digital transformation and how digitalization affected the world of interpretation. We would also like to talk about the future of interpretation in Egypt. How do you see it?
Well, the future of interpretation in Egypt. Actually, I see that we have so many qualifications, very skillful qualifications. I'm always giving students in Egypt the interpretation courses, and I feel that they are very, I can say, enthusiastic to learn. They are very encouraged to be educated, and they really want to be qualified, successful interpreters. So I see that this career in Egypt, it is getting like very growing up, very spreading out. And there are so many people, they have loved interpretation so much from the courses, the skills they saw inside themselves. And I always advise that we need to have some more institutes to have offline courses and offline workshops, and also to activate the, I can say, the practice of training the interpreters, the new interpreters in the conferences, and this will be very helpful for the new interpreters.
Yes, Heba, talking about youth and youth empowerment, how do you see the significance of youth empowerment?
Well, I see that youth are like the power of any community. So we need to empower the youth. Once the youth, they saw that they are responsible, they can take the missions, they can achieve their visions, and they can overcome the challenges. I think that we will have a brighter future, not only in the field of interpretation, but also in the field of any field of like employment or opportunities in the country. And once the youth are encouraged to help, they are encouraged to learn, our future will be brighter, and of course the new generations also will learn from those generations.
You definitely faced a lot of obstacles throughout your education years and throughout, of course, your career years. How did you overcome obstacles? How do you face challenges? What would you like to tell youth about persistence and perseverance?
Well, actually, I have so many challenges I have faced in my life, throughout the whole of my life. Not only in my career, but also in the whole challenges that we're facing in our daily or ordinary life. I'm always saying that without challenges, we will not taste the feeling of success. Without challenges, you cannot feel that, well, you're successful. Once I say that this person is successful, it means that this person has faced so many challenges and has faced so many hardships in his life, so that's why he is successful. So yes, I faced so many challenges, and so many people said maybe this person is really young person, why should be a successful or an interpreter. In Europe, in America, in the States, in any country, also in our country, I can say any educated person can learn from his students. Once we have students, they have so many talents, and they have so many skills. We need to learn from them. So we need to have this culture in our life, and never the age is a matter of anything. Maybe an old person can be more successful, a young person can be more successful. So yes, I faced so many challenges regards my age and regards being a female, not male, and especially in our conservative cultures, in conservative communities. And also I have faced so many challenges in my life, maybe some hindrances not to achieve some tasks. And every task I go through, not only interpretation task, but also a task of maybe written translation, of maybe a project, of maybe a successful business trip, or a business trip that I need to make it successful and to overcome any troubles I might face. I believe that this task is designed for successful people. So I believed in myself, and I got what I want to get, and also still have more ambitions to achieve, and more specialization, more studies I need to be concerned about, and need to study. Maybe more fields of life I need to get through. So we never have like ceiling of ambitions. Yes, ambitions and can be achieved once we overcome the challenges.
Finally, Heba, what's a message you would like to send to the youth from your place here?
Well, love your career. Really, if you loved your career, if you loved your life, you can achieve so much. Also, the people around you, you need to, once we get inspired by the people around us, the people we love, we always feel that the children have some troubles with their families. That's why they are, later on, they discover that they are failed. So we need really to love people around us, to get inspiration from the people around us that we are loving. So I'm always telling the youth and my students really that they need to love their career, they need to work on themselves. They never will be successful in anything unless they achieved their tasks and they can be more acknowledged. So yes, they need to love their career, and they need to love their studies so that they can be successful.
Well, I would like to thank you very much, Heba Izzeddin, simultaneous interpreter. Many thanks for joining us today, and all the best of luck.
Thank you, Niveen. Thank you.
And ladies and gentlemen, with this we come to the end of this edition of Today's Youth. Don't forget to join us next week, same time. Till then, it's goodbye.